What's up guys, in this video I'm going to be showcasing some of my favorite quality everyday carry gear under $50. This video is going to showcase gear that I have either used in the past or am currently using in my regular everyday carry. I personally believe that most of the gear in this video are both quality items and are items that will actually have some sort of use and are not just random niche items. I'll start off the video with some quality budget multi-tools. First up are two full-size Leatherman tools, the Leatherman REV and the Leatherman Bolster, both of which are part of the Wingman family of Leatherman multi-tools, and both feature nearly identical tool sets. Both the REV and the Bolster feature both regular and needle nose pliers, as well as both regular and hard wire cutters. They both feature a 2.5D Phillips head driver, as well as a big flathead driver / pry bar, and on the other side they both feature the combination can opener, bottle opener, and wire stripper tool, as well as a small flathead driver with a file, as well as a depth gauge on the other side. And of course, both feature a one-hand operable liner locking 420HC stainless steel knife blade. Some small differences between the tools. First up, for the Bolster, you have an included lanyard hole that you can tuck away, as well as a dedicated serrated blade on the inside, and the Bolster's pliers are also spring action. In contrast, the Leatherman REV features a dedicated package opener that's good for those tough plastic clamshell packages, and its pliers are just standard and not spring action. While not as robust and chock full of features like the most expensive Leatherman tools, both the Leatherman REV and Bolster are quality tools and still feature a solid tool set with a full-size set of pliers and a full-size knife blade. I personally used to EDC a Wingman, which is basically the REV with spring action pliers and spring action scissors on the outside, and I personally thought it was a rock solid tool, especially for its size and price. Both the REV and Bolster are solid choices for those of you on a budget, and you just need to choose based on your preference of tool set as well as style of pliers. For those of you who prefer a keychain size multi-tool, Leatherman's got you covered there too. The Leatherman Micra is a very compact multi-tool that can easily fit on your key setup while still packing a plentiful tool set. The Micra is like most Leatherman tools in the sense that it folds open to reveal a main tool, but instead of the typical pliers, it's actually scissor based, and it is also spring action, which is pretty great. You get a 420HC knife blade, a medium sized flathead driver / pry tool, a nail file / cleaner, as well as a small set of tweezers, a small flathead driver / Phillips head driver, as well as a micro bit driver / bottle opener. The Micra is a great choice if you're looking for a quality keychain size multi-tool. Continuing on with the multi-tools is the Victorinox Swiss Army Huntsman. I think the Huntsman is easily the best value full-size Swiss Army knife on the market right now. If you want to get the best value out of it, I recommend buying it on Amazon right now, because the price you saw on screen is only available on Amazon right now, and everywhere else it retails for at least $50. In terms of the Huntsman's tool set, first up you have a full-size stainless steel knife blade, and then you have a small stainless steel knife blade, also known as the pen blade, and next up you have a full-size saw, great for cutting through fibrous materials, and next you have a pair of large spring action scissors, and next you have a can opener / mini flathead screwdriver. And then on the other side, you have a wire stripper, bottle opener, medium-sized flathead driver / pry tool. And then on the other side, you have an awl with a sewing eye, as well as the parcel hook, as well as the corkscrew, as well as a place to put a small pin in this little hole. And of course, you have the classic Victorinox scale tools. You have a set of tweezers that can be really handy, as well as a toothpick. As you can see, you get a lot of different tools in one package. The Huntsman is a good choice if you're looking for a more compact multi-tool, and is also a good choice if you live in a more restrictive area that doesn't allow for locking knife blades. I don't really know if there's any any other Swiss Army knife that can rival the Huntsman with its tool set and at this very low price range. You who like Victorinox but prefer a keychain size tool, I got you with the Victorinox Swiss Army Knife Classic SD. I mean, it's in the name, it's literally called Classic, and that's because it is. In fact, this was my first ever multi-tool I had, not this specific one, but when I was 15, I was able to get my dad's Classic SD in the Classic Swiss Army Knife Red, and it was a very handy little tool. In terms of the Classic SD's tool set, first up you have a stainless steel knife blade, as well as a combination file / mini pry tool / mini flathead screwdriver. And on the other side, you have the very handy spring action scissors. And then again, the signature Victorinox scale tools. You have the tweezers as well as the toothpick. It has a very low price and is a tool that you can easily throw onto your key setup and forget about until you need it. The tools may be small, but they are quality and can help out in a variety of ways with things you may encounter on the daily. Rounding off the multi-tools in this video, we have probably one of the best value multi-tools out there, the Milwaukee Fastback 6-in-1. First up, we have a button locking utility blade holder. Obviously, you have the regular edge of the utility blade, as well as a safety cutter down here. In the scales, if you pull back this little metal tab, you can slide in another utility blade right here and have another blade stored and ready for use if you need to exchange the blade. The button action is nice and snappy, and on the side where the utility blade is when it's deployed, you also have a bottle opener. The Fastback 6-in-1 also features a nice wire deep carry pocket clip, and you also have a bit driver that can be utilized in two different configurations. You can grip it like this with extra torque, or engage it all the way and have it liner locked to use it like a regular screwdriver. The 6-in-1 comes with a standard Phillips head bit driver as well as a flathead bit driver. The 6-in-1 comes with a standard double-sided bit that has a Phillips head bit as well as a flathead bit, and it fits nicely in the driver. As I said, the driver is liner locking, which is really nice and folds up nicely like that. I think you get a lot of nice quality of life features with the 6-in-1 for its price. It retails for, I think, just barely $20. You might even be able to find it for cheaper at your local Home Depot or Lowe's. I mean, check out the quality button lock action. It's nice and snappy, it's very smooth, and it rivals some of the button lock knives I have. It also has a nice deep carry pocket clip, and in terms of the grip, I'd say it's pretty comfortable despite it only being a $20 knife that doesn't necessarily even brag about its ergos. You got some nice finger grooves right here for the index finger and your middle finger here, and it even has jimping on the spine of the side of the knife. And this jimping, in my opinion, is sorely lacking on a lot of regular pocket knives. I personally think that the only downside with the tool is that its size is similar to most full-size Leatherman tools, and yet it only has a total of 6 tools in its package, and it takes up basically the same footprint as a full-size Leatherman tool. That little gripe aside, I still don't think you can find a tool for this cheap that has a similar above average build quality and solid tool set. And next up is one of my favorite EDC flashlights, the Streamlight Microstream USB. It's a nice lightweight EDC light that also carries nicely in the pocket. It has 2 brightness settings, 50 lumens as well as 250 lumens. You also get a nice deep carry pocket clip that also has a hat brim clip. Probably my favorite feature of the light is the fact that it is USB rechargeable. As you can see, the USB port is hidden behind the front end of the cap and even has a rubber gasket to make it somewhat water resistant. I highly prefer this over having to swap batteries, and that's why this is one of my favorite EDC lights and why I'm recommending it for this video. And next up is the core of my EDC key setup, and that's the MecArmy titanium split keyring. This is basically just a better version of the traditional keyring. So instead of having to dig your fingernails into the side of the keyring and then pull open the side and then slide whatever you want in or out, the split keyring design makes for an easier operation. You can simply slide one of the tops. If you want to add something, you slide the outer ring. If you want to remove something, as you can see, there's this inner ring and you want to slide it like that. For now, let's go ahead and add something. We'll slide it like this. In this case, we'll add the Classic SD to my keyring. You'll simply slide open the top and then once you got it like here, you can easily slide it in, and then boom, the Classic SD is added to the key setup, and everything is nice and secure, and you won't have to worry about anything from your key setup sliding off. Switch to this titanium split keyring at the start of the year, and it's definitely going to be a mainstay as the core of my EDC key setup for a while. I really love how convenient and secure it is, and it's basically just a better version of the traditional keyring. Next up is one of my favorite pen brands, Fisher Space Pen. All of Fisher's pens are made in the USA and feature their signature pressurized ink refills. These ink cartridges allow you to write in almost any condition and almost any surface. You can write underwater, upside down, or even in space. I have two styles here. We have the Space Pen Bullet, this cap pen, as well as the Cap-O-Matic, which is a click pen. The Bullet is by far the most compact and easiest to carry, but the Cap-O-Matic has the faster and more convenient click mechanism in contrast to the cap of the Bullet. Both have their pros and cons. You have to decide whether you prefer a more compact carry like with the Bullet or the one that's faster to use with the Cap-O-Matic. And next up is the one item on here that you may never have to use in a real world situation, and that is the RESQME emergency car escape tool. This is a quality USA made item that only retails for less than $10. Basically, it has a pressurized window punch as well as a seatbelt cutter. To use the seatbelt cutter, you remove it from this low clip, and then you have a razor sharp blade right here that's also a safety cutter, and you simply angle it on the seatbelt, and then boom, you can slice the seatbelt open. And then in terms of the glass punch, you essentially press this little black button up against your car window, and then it will exert 12 pounds of pressure on the glass to break it. You don't have to swing the tool or anything, just simply press it up against a glass window and press it down, and it'll break the window for you. This is a potentially life-saving item that you can easily store in your car in a variety of ways or throw onto your keychain. I personally have it hanging on my windshield wiper lever. Hopefully you'll never have to use the RESQME for yourself or anyone else, but if you do, you will have something that you know that you can count on when it really matters. And to round off the video, we have an item that some may consider boring, but I personally think that not enough people carry even the most basic form of a first aid kit. This pocket first aid kit from Coleman retails for less than $10 and is packed full with a variety of band-aids and other first aid essentials. As you can see, here are all the contents of the first aid kit. It is a 27-piece kit, and it is very solid, especially in this nice reusable tin, and it can easily fit in your pocket or your pack. This obviously isn't a life-saving med kit or anything, but from my experience with carrying both basic first aid and major trauma items, you will use the first aid items 100 times more than you ever will the major trauma items. This kit is great for the minor injuries and inconveniences you may encounter in life, and if you have kids of your own or babysit a lot, I personally think that a first aid kit should almost be a requirement as part of your EDC. A mini first aid kit may seem like a boring item, but it could probably end up being one of the most useful items that you add to your EDC. And that's going to do it for some of the best quality EDC items under $50. Do you guys have any suggestions that fit this category? I'd definitely like to know down in the comments.